So hello friends, today in this video we are going to study the Turing test approach in artificial intelligence. So first of all, the question arises, what is a Turing test? So a person and a computer being separated in two rooms answers the tester's question online. The tester will ask some questions and a person will answer that, a computer will also answer that, and this person who is giving an answer and the computer which is giving an answer, both are separated in two rooms, right? And they will give an answer to the tester's question online. If the interrogator cannot tell whether he or she is talking to is a person or a computer, then the computer is viewed to be an intelligent as the person. That means, suppose if there is no much difference in between the answers given by the computer as well as the human being, then we can see that here the computer is achieving the knowledge or the intelligence like a human being, right? And then that particular computer is viewed to be as intelligent as the person. So what is this Turing test for? So basically it is to check whether a machine is an intelligent as humans or not. Means the main purpose of the Turing test is just to recognize whether the machine possesses the intelligence same as humans, or it is having some less intelligence, or any flaws which are existing in the machine or in the computer machine when we compare the intelligence of it with the human beings. Why the Turing test is needed? One needs a benchmark for machine intelligence. Of course, we need some sort of scale to calibrate the exact degree of intelligence of the machines, and for that we need a benchmark. So this Turing test will act as a benchmark for the machine intelligence. It's difficult to measure the internal intelligence mechanism because we do not quite understand it yet, and different persons may have a different mechanisms. Of course, yes, because right now still we are not able to understand how the human brains used to work exactly. Even though the medical science has proven to be great, but still it is not able to give us the answer of all the questions regarding how the modus operandi of the brain is. And because we don't know, we quite don't understand exactly how the brain works, because different persons may have different emotions, may have different actions or reactions on the different situations. So how can we implement those into our machines? Then the external performance. External performance is an objective, measurable, and a consistent benchmark how the machine is actually performing externally. That is what we are supposed to identify, that is what our objective is, and it should be a measurable one, and it should be a consistent one. And when it is measurable, it is consistent, it acts as a benchmark for us to determine the intelligence capacity of the machine. The features of Turing test. It gives an objective notion of intelligence. Yes, definitely. It tests only intelligence of a brain without body, whose inputs are from the keyboard and whose outputs are the sentences on the screen. So we can consider any particular machine which is having a brain but it doesn't have a body like a human, okay, but still it is able to give you an intelligent answers. Now the inputs to such a system are given from the keyboard, and when the machine will react on our queries, the outputs will be seen on a screen as in sentences. So the judgment is based on the reaction of the machine rather than its pro-reactions. Yes, it definitely. Because whenever we will judge whether the particular machine is as intelligent as a human being or not, or how exactly or how much exactly it is intelligent, then it will definitely be based on the reactions of the machine rather than its pro reactions. Test intelligence or test consciousness. Turing test was designed to test a machine intelligence. So its principle can be used to test a machine consciousness also, such as the emotions and the self awareness. The Turing test basically involves such questions which are based on emotions or which may be even based on the self awareness. And if we can indulge the emotions and the self awareness into the machines, then definitely they may act like a human, and those machines will pass our Turing test, and hence we will come to some judgment whether the computer machine is capable of having the intelligence like a human or not. So we can measure the intelligence, we can measure the consciousness also with the help of a Turing machine. Now the intelligence versus a consciousness. Difference between intelligence and a consciousness. When we talk of intelligence, it's knowledge. When we talk of a consciousness, it is something which is beyond the knowledge but which is general in nature. Higher level consciousness pre-require a higher level intelligence. Though it is a controversial whether the lower level consciousness must be associated with certain level of intelligence. So basically it has been assumed and it has been seen that whenever there is a high level of a consciousness, then there is a high level of intelligence also. But there are some controversial statements which states that a low level consciousness must be associated with certain level of intelligence. But if we associate the certain level of intelligence with the low level of consciousness, definitely the efficacy of the AI system will be reduced. So is a machine passed Turing test intelligent? Suppose if any particular machine passes the Turing test, so can we say that it is intelligent? It's art intelligent and a sport intelligence which are not tested, right? So even if the machine has passed the Turing test, we may not actually confirm whether it is having the intelligence regarding the artistic activities or say sports activities. Okay, then the machine passes a intelligence of thinking. If a human like a robot showed such intelligence, we would not distinguish it from the real person in terms of intelligence of thinking. So exactly what we measure in the Turing test is the intelligence of thinking. How intelligently your machine is thinking. Is it thinking in the same way with the same intelligence that the human being think? If it is, then it will pass the Turing test. But when the machine will pass this Turing test in this particular context, we may say that it is not the art intelligent machine or it is not a sport intelligent machine, because these two particular parameters are not yet tested. Some insist that intelligence or not should be determined by the internal mechanism. Some of the people may say like this, that intelligence should be determined by internal mechanism, how internally the human brain is working, in the same fashion how internally the machine is working, in order to give you a proper output of any particular situation. So here, because of this, there are various ambiguities in the objectives of a Turing test, because as we have already seen that some of the people, they say that okay, the Turing test is only for measuring the intelligence, but the controversy is that there are many such part of intelligence which the Turing test may or may not be able to measure. So When the Turing test passes any particular machine, we cannot say that the machine is fully intelligent, because yet there are many domains of knowledge, or we can say many domains of intelligence which are to be tested yet. And such sort of situations may lead to certain ambiguities in the objectives of the Turing test. So, what are they? The first, intelligence defined in terms of results or in terms of a process. Many of the people may think that if you are doing the process very accurately, then you are doing your task very nicely. But some of the people, they are result oriented. They are not at all concerned with how you are doing that particular task. They are only oriented with their results. So if someone is doing a good processing, will we say that particular person or a machine as intelligent? Or if some particular person is giving a good results, or the machine is giving a good results only, irrespective of whatsoever might be the mechanism of processing inside, so can we say it to be an intelligent? So here the ambiguity is there. The one who is doing a good process or the good processing, so can we say it as an intelligent? Or the one who is giving us the output, so can we say that particular one as an intelligent? This is the ambiguity, because the Turing test does not specify the result between a result oriented and the process oriented systems. Then the next is understanding. Understanding means understanding of the question, understanding of the query. Many a times there are such queries to which there are multiple answers, and multiple answers may be correct for a single query. And if the human being answers for a particular situation in one sentence, the same situation may be answered by your computer in some another sentence. So here the two sentences, they are differing, the two answers are differing, but actually they are correct. So what can we say on this? Whether the machine is a good one to understand the things or the human being? This particular ambiguity is definitely there in the Turing test. Then the last one is regarding the semantic versus symbolic. So in the objective of the Turing test, we may use a variety of semantics or syntax, and we may use symbols also. Suppose if a machine is giving a good results in terms of a semantic, and at the same time if it is not giving a good output in terms of symbols, or if the vice versa is also true, then what exactly can we say about the intelligence of the machine? So can we say it has passed the Turing test? Even though it has passed, but that particular passing may be dependent on the semantics, or it may be dependent on the symbolic also. So when a particular machine passes the Turing test, we cannot say whether it is working semantically or whether it is working symbolically. So it was all about a Turing test. Thank you.